Welcome back to the Battle Camp. Thank you for clicking on this video. If it's your first time, please hit the subscribe button. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Conor McGregor, he has decided to call it a day. He's retired from the sport of MMA. He tweeted earlier on today, "Hey guys, quick announcement. I've decided to retire from the sport formerly known as mixed martial art today. I wish all my old colleagues well going forward in competition. I now join my former partners on this venture, already in retirement. Proper pina coladas on me, fellas." So that was a tweet that he sent. And then on Instagram earlier on, I reposted this. Brett Komodo screenshotted some text messages that he received from Dana White reacting to the news. And this is what Dana White had to say. He has the money to retire, and his whiskey is killing it. Killing with no G and all capital letters. So he has the money to retire, and his whiskey is killing it. It totally makes sense. If I was him, I would retire too. He's retiring from fighting, not from working. The whiskey will keep him busy, and I'm sure he has other things he's working on. He has been so fun to watch. 3 exclamation points. He has accomplished incredible things in this sport. I am so happy for him, and I look forward to seeing him be as successful outside of the octagon as he was in it. So that's the news so far. In my personal opinion, I just think it's a game of chicken between Conor McGregor and Dana White and the UFC again. Cast your minds back to UFC 200, was it? I think it was 200, where Conor McGregor was meant to headline against Nate Diaz with no title on the line, by the way, at 170 pounds. And Dana White, in all his wisdom, took Conor McGregor off that card because Conor McGregor refused to attend a kind of like a kickoff pre-fight press conference. So this press conference would have been like 8 weeks, 12 weeks before the actual event. And Dana White took Conor McGregor off the card because Conor McGregor said he wants to focus on training. Bearing in mind, he had lost the first fight to Nate Diaz, so this was a rematch. So Conor McGregor decided he didn't want to spend a lot of time doing media. He wanted to just concentrate on training. And Dana White didn't think that was acceptable, so he took him off the card. And the reason I'm talking about this is a couple of days after being removed from the card, Conor McGregor sent out the notorious, no pun intended, tweet where he said, "Thank you for the cheese, see yous later." Basically retired. So why am I talking about that? If you cast your minds back to a couple of weeks ago, it was a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on my channel talking about how Conor McGregor and the UFC were in a bit of a standoff because the Conor McGregor, they were basically trying to make a fight between Conor McGregor and Donald Cerrone. And the sticking point was the fact that Conor McGregor believed that he should main event whatever card this fight goes on. And Dana White or the UFC, well, I'm just going to say Dana White because he's, at the end of the day, he's the one that makes the decisions. Dana White was stalling over it because he was saying that Conor McGregor shouldn't be the main event because it's not a title fight. He should be the co-main event. And I posted a video about this a couple of weeks ago, and I fucking went on a rant because they're happy to give us these meaningless interim title fights as the main event. But when it's a bona fide, legitimate star, the biggest star in the sport, they're saying, "Oh no, you can't be the main event because you don't have a title." Well, you don't need a fucking title. He's literally the biggest star you guys have ever had. Ever. I'd say a good, strong percentage of the roster, of the UFC roster, would rather fight Conor McGregor than fight for the title. And I'd go one further. I'd say 99.9% of the fighters on the UFC roster would rather fight Conor McGregor than fight for an interim title. When the fucking fighters value a fight against Conor McGregor more than an interim title, when us, the fans, value a Conor McGregor fight against Donald Cerrone more than Donald Cerrone fighting for an interim title against, I don't know, a Dustin Poirier, for example. And this is no knock on Dustin Poirier. I'm just saying because he's deserving, or he's at that level. If Donald Cerrone was to have an interim title shot against a Tony Ferguson, anyone in the top 3, top 5, that isn't named Khabib because he's the actual champion. Just say you were to book Donald Cerrone in a fight against Conor McGregor or a fight in it for an interim title against Dustin Poirier. Literally every single one of us, the fans, would say, oh, I'd rather see the Conor McGregor fight. I think the Conor McGregor fight holds more value. That's how much he has transcended the UFC roster. He's literally in a league of his own. And you can hate it or love it, it's a fucking fact. Now, just say Conor McGregor v Donald Cerrone, you can place that on any card of the year, any pay-per-view card of the year, and the numbers would double or triple. Like, that's how much star power the man has. You could literally book that fight and put it on UFC 236, 237, 238, 239, 240, whichever UFC you want to put it on. And whatever card you plonk that fight on, the numbers would triple or quadruple. And the UFC, Dana White, still believe that it's not a main event fight. What is the main event fight? What constitutes a main event? Because it can't be an interim title fight because you guys don't fucking value the interim title. You guys have given so many fighters an interim title and then not given them the title shot against the champion when he or she's come back from injury. Like, you guys don't give a fuck about your interim champions. Why the fuck should we? Anyway, I'm going off on a massive rant about something that I've already ranted about a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, so Conor McGregor has sent out this tweet, I think, in response to the fact that there was this spat between him and Dana White with regards to whether he should headline a show or whether he should be co-ing a main event. A couple of days ago, it was formally announced that Donald Cerrone would now be fighting Al Iaquinta, not Conor McGregor. Just on Sunday night, when Pettis had that crazy KO win over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Conor McGregor tweeted about that. I can't remember the exact words, but basically implying that he wanted to fight Pettis. You can go on his timeline and see it for yourself. So how can he go from that on a Sunday to retiring on a Monday night, Tuesday morning? It just doesn't add up. And I think if you're a star of the magnitude that Conor McGregor is, if you have that much star power, you don't retire via tweet. You do what GSP did a couple of weeks ago. You have a press conference. You invite fucking everyone from sports media, not just MMA media. You invite mainstream media to this press conference. You sit down in front of them. You tell them that you're retiring. You answer their questions and you tell them what you're doing next. You use the opportunity to build whatever is happening next in your career. Whether you're going to say, oh, well, I'm going into acting, I'm going to be a Hollywood star. Whether you're saying, I'm focusing on Proper 12, this is what we're doing with Proper 12 next. You don't just retire and just leave it there if you're Conor McGregor. He knows how to manipulate and use social media and just media in general. He knows how to market himself. And if he was genuinely retiring, this is a marketing opportunity. It's an opportunity to look back on your career and tell people how much you've achieved and how great you've been in the sport. It's an opportunity to tell people your motivation behind retiring, and it's an opportunity to tell people what you're going to be doing next. So it's outlets in the news. It's basically free advertising. Someone like Conor McGregor wouldn't pass up on an opportunity to do that. And this doesn't make him conniving or contrived or whatever the fucking word is. It just means he knows. It's just another way of showing why he is where he is, because he understands the game and he plays it well in and outside the octagon. So I just think this is a response in the most recent disagreement between himself and the UFC, or himself and Dana White. And I think more will come out in the next couple of days, and we'll understand that this is what the issue is. I really believe Conor McGregor really wants to fight again. I mean, he's not just a martial artist. He's a historian. Go on his MMA. Go on his Instagram, his post that he does. He just doesn't fight for the sake of fighting. He loves it. He loves the disciplines in mixed martial art. Read his post about Baz Rutten. Like, he cares about it. For all his bad points, for all of the stuff that he does on social media, for all of his antics, for all of the trouble he gets in with police and things of that nature, you can't deny the fact that he's in love with the game that is mixed martial arts. Just read his posts, read the stuff that he writes when he's posting training kind of clips or pictures of him in different gyms as he's traveling across America promoting his whiskey. If he didn't give a fuck, he wouldn't be seeking out these gyms and going there to train. He wants to get back in there, and I believe he will eventually get back in there. But it's just a Mexican standoff between him and Dana White. And I wish Dana White would sometimes push his ego aside. It doesn't make sense, man. Like, this is literally the biggest star you guys have had ever. And not just by a little bit. By a country fucking mile. And because of that, I believe he deserves some privileges that other fighters don't get. By and large, he plays within the rule set that you guys have. And it's not like he's saying that he wants something totally outlandish, totally out of the question. Whatever title fight you put on the card that Conor McGregor will be fighting on, whoever the champion is and whoever the challenger is, they'd welcome Conor McGregor fighting on that card, because it would mean that if they're getting pay-per-view points, they're going to get the rub off a Conor McGregor event. They'd be happy to let Conor McGregor headline, and they'd be happy to co-main event. Because at the end of the day, it's more money in their pocket. I don't know, it's just fucking bullshit. It's just so annoying. Like, this is so avoidable. And Dana White or the UFC are choosing not to avoid it. But like I say, I don't think this is a genuine retirement. I think it's a reaction to a disagreement with Dana White. What do you guys think? Put your comments below. Please feel free to share this with a friend. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you later. Thank you for the cheese. I'll see you later.